This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Dunedin's mayoral candidates were kept on their toes by a younger constituency yesterday. Pupils of Kaiapoi High School spent the term partaking in a testing leadership program. And the country's best young hip-hop dancers converged on Queenstown at the weekend for the National Champs. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Simon Anderson. Dunedin's mayoral candidates were kept on their toes by a younger constituency yesterday. The Dunedin Youth Council hosted about 50 pupils at the Harbour View Lounge at the Edgar Centre for the Speed Date the Mayor.
Young Dunedinites putting the tough questions to Dunedin's political hopefuls. In a rapid-fire series of speed dates, where the Snapchat generation can get a snapshot of people who want to be the city's next top councillors.
We've got a lot of council and mayor candidates speed dating year 13 from around Dunedin. Yeah, just trying to give them a bit of a vibe about what they're doing in council this year and what they should be elected on. Candidates were asked a wide range of questions, from describing the Dunedin of the future to what their favourite song was. However, Youth Council Chairwoman Melissa Bonilla-Casanis says there's a solid core of younger voters interested in local body politics. I think there was a lot of people that were keen, but because of the time of year, while mock exams are going on, the last internals being the last week of term 3, it is a very busy time and not all schools were on board with them coming. But we definitely have had quite a lot of engagement between youth because they are interested in politics. Bonilla-Casanis says there are many issues facing the city that are particularly pertinent to younger voters. Climate change is a big deal to so many youth, and also Mental Health Awareness Week is next week. Having the Mental Health Awareness Week event this Friday that the Youth Council is also helping on, I think that's another big issue for youth. She says yesterday's event was a rare chance for young voters to engage local body politicians, as many council meetings are held during school time, meaning pupils can't attend. In Dunedin, The South Today.
A driver escaped uninjured after crashing their car into Otago Harbour yesterday. Emergency services were called to the scene after a car crashed off Aramoana Road and into Otago Harbour between Hamilton Bay and Dowling Bay at about 6 p.m. yesterday. The car came to rest upside down in the water, but the driver, who was the sole occupant of the vehicle, was uninjured and was able to extricate themselves before emergency services arrived. More than 20 pupils of Kaiapoi High School in the Waimakariri district have spent the term partaking in a testing leadership program. Known as Cactus, the program wrapped up at the end of the term as the teens completed a huge morning which began before sunrise.
Taking the strain, chanting as they come. Kaiapoi High School pupils pulling 2 fully laden fire engines along the town's streets towards their school, following a very early start to the day as part of a peer leadership program called Cactus.
It's a great program where we get up 3 days a week on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday. Come down to school, and at 6:20 we do fitness. It's a way of learning team building and leadership for people in the group. Today was the longest day. We got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We stayed the night at school previously last night.
Kaiapoi High head boy Flynn Johnson is pleased to have been working with a group of people he says he'd not typically get to know.
Well, it's been great today. The whole term we've been leading up to this one challenge, and personally I've just loved working with these people that normally I wouldn't have much to do with. So it's been great to meet new people, and also the fitness side of things as well. It's been great for me personally, feeling a lot fitter, and yeah, it's just been a great mental and physical challenge.
Cactus members were honoured with a haka as they pulled the fire engines past the Cultural Studies Centre Te Kohiko, and when they arrived at the school. With the strain on his face still evident, Johnson says pulling 2 fire engines was a heck of a workout and more than just a physical one.
Oh, well, I started pulling it and 100 metres into it. I thought we should be done by now, I'm stuffed. But nah, you just dig deep, get that stamina going and those mental things we've learnt throughout the term. And pulled through, and everyone did their part, and we got here in the end.
The program is run at the school each term with different intakes of pupils each time, and Johnson says some people who do the course in Year 10 choose to repeat it in their senior years. In Kaipoi, the South Today.
Police have named the Oamaru woman killed in a single vehicle crash near Twizel on Friday. She was 60-year-old Gail Sandra Johnson. Her death has been referred to the coroner. The crash on Glen Lyon Road near Lake Pawaka was reported to police just before noon on Saturday. Her body was found on Saturday after a member of the public reported the vehicle was abandoned. She was believed to have been travelling from Lake Pawaka to Twizel on Friday afternoon. New Zealand's best young hip-hop dancers converged on Queenstown at the weekend for the National Schools Dance Championships. It's the first time the resort has hosted the competition. Organisers say they were very pleased with ticket sales, as about 500 cheering fans attended the opening night.
Hip-hop group Diamond from Dunedin's Rasa School of Dance bust a move in Queenstown on Friday night. In the hip-hop division, there were 52 dance crews from schools and dance companies around the country at this year's New Zealand Schools Hip-Hop, Sport Aerobics and Fitness Championships.
We try and alternate between the North Island and the South Island, and we haven't been to Queenstown before, and we thought it would be a good idea to A, showcase the region, what it has to offer, and B, we try and support the smaller regions, so not just going to the main cities. And yeah, we've got a couple of local crews on board for the first time from Queenstown, which was great.
Judge Gemma Lauser says the dance crews are not only assessed on choreography and how they appear on stage, but also which of the many dance styles are used in the routine.
So within hip hop, you've got swag, breaking, popping, locking, all sorts of different styles, and they want to showcase it in variety. They don't just want to see one style, they want to see lots of different things, showcase what your crew can do.
Lauser says the young dancers are passionate about performing, and learning dance steps helps build discipline and team spirit.
We've got a couple of really low decile schools who have been in touch with us and said, look, it keeps our kids coming to school, it's what they live for, it's a sense of community, it's a goal, it's their whānau. So yeah, it is a really strong community feel in the dance world, and we love promoting that. We're really into, we are a participation-based sport, so we want grassroots level, we want to get the kids involved.
Friday night's national hip-hop competition sold 500 tickets, and the following two-day national aerobics competition drew another 300 spectators.
Yeah, we're really happy with the attendance, and we've had great support from the region as well. Queenstown local council have provided us with some funding, so without that it wouldn't be possible to bring it here, so we're really grateful for that.
The event attracted dance pupils from across the country, with many prizes being awarded to Auckland teams. However, the dance crew Cha Cha Chicks from St Hilda's Collegiate School and Columba College won a category in the aerobics competition. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we learn which of the former Cadbury buildings is set to remain standing, and we meet a 93-year-old Holocaust survivor. See you after the break.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
At Alex Campbell Menswear, we bring you the best value. We have bought a massive selection of moleskins, and we're passing on the savings to you. Buy one pair, save $25. Buy two, save $60, and we've a great deal on our knitwear. Look at it all, 25% off all our knitwear. And to go with the knitwear, what about a nice warm shirt? These are 25% off too. And while we're doing the 25% off, what about on the jackets? 25% off them as well.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So check us out for massive savings this winter.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Namaino, welcome back. Dunedin's new $1.5 billion hospital build will retain a small part of the historic former Cadbury site. The Ministry of Health bought the land last year, with much of the block, including facades on Cumberland Street, expecting demolition. However, Ministry noted the dairy building has a high level of heritage interest. The building's facade was restored and revealed last year, the design based on a 1930s Cadbury Fry Hudson era. The building may be used for administrative or other non-clinical purposes. Options remain. A group of Otago teenagers will be tasked with guiding their peers and the public through the history behind the diary of Anne Frank. Otago Girls High School will host an international touring exhibition created by the Anne Frank House Museum in Amsterdam.
Checking up on the touring Anne Frank exhibition currently on display at Otago Girls High School, Dutch immigrant and former Dunedin resident Boyd Clapp is now in his 90s and closely involved with bringing the exhibition to New Zealand.
Well, I was a young teenager in Holland during the Second World War, so I experienced the horrors of Nazi. I could see Jews being departed, left the city, never came back. So all my life that stuck with me, what democracy is, what discrimination is. And I felt when I was asked to be involved in Anne Frank, I thought, yes, I think I can make a commitment to that.
The exhibition tells the story of how Anne Frank and her family moved from Germany to neighbouring Holland to escape Nazi persecution. But following the German invasion of the Netherlands on May 1940, they encountered growing discrimination once again. Among the displays is an actual gold-coloured Star of David, which all Jews were made to wear to identify themselves in public.
Not long after the Germans occupied Holland, they started to discriminate against the Jews. They had to wear the Star of David. They had to report. They were not allowed to be in public parks. Then they weren't allowed to be at normal schools, Jewish schools. were started. And Anne Frank and her family, they thought they were safe, but they had to go into hiding in 1942. And he was a successful businessman. He had a very large warehouse in Amsterdam, and behind it was sort of accommodation, and they moved in there. And whilst she was there, she was a very intelligent, independent young woman, very wise. She started writing daily notes about what was happening, how she reacted. And then the Minister of Education of the Dutch government, who had escaped to London, made an appeal to the people in Holland and said, any of your experiences, please write a diary so that after the war we can look at that, which was a very wise thing. And when she saw that, she rewrote those notes into a diary.
Her family were eventually caught and sent away to the concentration camps. Anne was one of about 1.5 million children killed by the Nazis. Her father was the only survivor in the immediate family and published a diary after the war. Klapp acknowledges many Dutch citizens stood by while the Jews were rounded up and sent on cattle trains to the concentration camps.
Well, there was a famous philosopher who made a statement, bad things happen when good people do nothing. And if I look at the situation in Holland, most people would have hated what was happening. And then at the extreme ends you have the collaborator and you have the people that were prepared to give their lives if needed be. So it is sometimes not easy to know what is right or wrong, because it isn't always black and white. For instance, the mayors of the cities, some resigned immediately when the Germans came because they were not going to cooperate. Others stayed on because they were able to mix with German officers, found out things and saved people's lives.
Klapp remembers his neighbours being taken away to concentration camp and his mother-in-law giving them food and drink for the journey.
They were out in the streets and the truck was there to take them away. She offered to take the two boys and look after them until after the war. Saartje, which was the name of that Jewish woman, Saartje said, no, I want to keep my kids with me. They didn't realize they were all going to be killed, really. And my mother-in-law had a thermos and some food, so Saartje took her ring off and gave this ring to my mother-in-law. And my mother-in-law has worn that ring all her life until she died. Then my wife wore that ring all her life till she died. And now my daughter is wearing that ring.
Education manager at the New Zealand Holocaust Centre, Lizzie Eves, says despite Anne Frank's tragic story, it does bring a positive message to young people.
We've had students in tears, very emotional, but we've also had a lot of inspired students. It gives them a lot of hope, I think, for the future. It does look at the difficult elements of history, but it also encourages young people to stand up against prejudice and discrimination.
The Anne Frank exhibition is on display at Otago Girls High School for a month and is open to the general public during the school holidays starting next week. In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, we look at what's in the ODT and we have tomorrow's weather.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. For a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chill.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Thanks for staying with us. Now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Dunedin's mayoral candidates were kept on their toes by younger voters at the Meet the Candidates speed dating event. Pupils of Kaiapoi High School spent the term partaking in a testing leadership program in which they pulled 2 fire engines. And the country's best young hip-hop dancers converged on Queenstown for the National Dance Championships over the weekend. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig Page.
Good evening. Yeah, we've got more on the local body elections. It's the story that keeps on giving for us at the moment. Dave Cowell today confirming people who he's supporting for the mayoralty. He won't. I don't want to mention names because obviously I want people to buy the paper tomorrow. But he's put forward 2 candidates, and as you can imagine, there's been a bit of a mixed response about that. Obviously, the candidates he's mentioned are delighted, but those he hasn't, not so happy.
Yeah, interested to see that.
Yeah, some saying it sort of indicates more of the same for the council. So if they want to change, then they need to look elsewhere. Okay. Another saying it's a lack of maturity in Mr. Cowell with his comments. So yeah, well worth a read tomorrow. We've also got a nice story about a big reunion in Dunedin coming up this weekend of the Suhoi family. 150 years since Chinese importer and gold miner Choi Suhoi arrived in the city. Mm-hmm. It's a remarkable story in itself. He left home at the age of 13, jumped on a boat in search of gold, went to California first and then ended up in Dunedin. And of course the Suhoi is one of the significant names in Dunedin's history. 250 descendants from New Zealand and Australia and other parts of the world as well are going to be here to celebrate their anniversary, so that's going to be a great weekend. On our fresh pages, we've got something for the vegans out there. There's a new book out called Global Vegan. It's got an array of interesting recipes, so we feature a few of those. And on the sporting front, we look to Otago's Big Shield Challenge, really arguably their biggest of the season. They take on Waikato and Dunedin on Sunday. Right. Waikato's got a pretty good record in Shield Challenges. That's going to be a tough battle. Our boys are going to have to be at their best to keep it in Dunedin. So that's us.
That's great. Thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
Now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
beginning with the southern view, tulips signalling spring in the centre of Dunedin. Looking at the situation, widespread showers tomorrow and Thursday will bring snow to the hills as very cold southwesterly winds buffet the region, especially the coasts. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect showers and 11 degrees. Across to the northeast, where Nelson and Blenheim are due for showers and 13 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, Kaikoura, you're set to be wet and 14. Christchurch, you're due for a few showers and 13 degrees, while Ashburton, you'll have a few showers too, with 11 degrees. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, you can all expect strong southwesterlies and showers. The Catlins, Balclutha, Gore and Lumsden are only looking at 8 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes region, expect moderate southwesterlies with showers for all in this area. Wanaka and Alexandra head for 9, Queenstown and Te Anau are 1 cooler on 8 degrees. Looking to the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can look forward to moderate southwesterlies and showers later. Timaru 13, Oamaru 11. Further inland, Twizel and Amarama are in for moderate southwesterlies and showers and a high of 10 degrees. In Dunedin, cloud increasing with westerly winds tonight, an overnight low of 5 degrees. Cloudy tomorrow morning with fresh westerly winds, but tending blustery, colder southwest from early afternoon with showers. Plan for a high of 8 and a low of 4. Cloudy and very cold on Thursday with frequent showers and strong, gusty southwesterlies, a high of 7 and a low of 3. And in Invercargill, cloudy and cold tonight with a few showers and an overnight low of 4. Cloudy with showers tomorrow and strong, cold southwesterlies, a high of 8 and an overnight low of 4. More showers and gusty, cold southwesterlies on Thursday, a high of 7 and an overnight low of 4 again. That's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.